This is not a one size fits all. It's the features you want them to know. Specialized packaging could be that conduit to get you or get your reps in front of the right decision maker at the right companies. Do you see that opportunity? It's massive. So oftentimes people will say, "What do you mean by specialized packaging?" And I think it's worthwhile to do a quick little deep dive here. Just to give you an idea, it doesn't have to be rocket science when we're talking about specialized packaging. So the first picture on the screen here is this. If you can see it, let me move a few things away here. So this really is a big bag that's used in the cat litter space. Now, here's an important lesson for sales reps and sales managers to understand. And I don't see many doing this. And I think it's a huge opportunity lost. What you see here on the screen right now is used in cat litter, but that doesn't mean it cannot be used in other dense products like cat litter. Again, not rocket science. So think about dog food, think about fertilizer, chemicals, anything that's in a bigger size, product. And all too often, sales reps don't connect the dots, and they just get focused on, well, if this is used for cat litter, then I need to find everybody else in the space that uses cat litter. Now, that's a decent strategy, but you're also limiting yourself to people in the cat litter space. So use the specialized product. Now, let me describe what is special about this particular product. As you can see here on the screen, it's this handle, okay? Now, what makes this unique is that obviously anything that's dealing with heavier 25, 30, 40-pound products and anything that can be made that could make it easier for John Q customer, hopefully, those people that need something to, instead of having to throw it over your shoulder, you can have a handle. Now, it's this kind of stuff that not everybody can make, and it's this kind of stuff that really could separate a sales rep in an opportunity at a big company. Because nobody else or not many companies can do this, and it's specialized enough, a lot of times the decision maker is focused on this one thing. They're focused on this handle, and they're focused on the companies that they could sell based upon this handle. For example, if you have and you're the only game in town in the cat litter or dog food space that has bags with a handle, you now can go to every pet retailer out there and say, we've got a solution for those people that complain or worry about bringing out heavy loads. You can now carry it with a integrated handle. That's what you call this, integrated. I think it's important that you have the terminology integrated. See if you can see this. And it should, see if they can convert. But anyhow, basically integrated handle. And that's the cool thing about this, is not a lot of people have this. Now, with this in mind, that's one example of a myriad of different examples when it comes to specialized packaging. Let's move on. So I'm going to minimize this bad boy, and I'm going to get rid of these notations, clear these strokes out of here, move this, sorry. And I am going to get this guy out of here, reduce his size. Here's something that's very, here's something that's very cool that I absolutely love. And we were part of the team that developed this. So take a look at this. Now, can you see, hopefully you can see the screen. What I'm trying to show is this is obviously a 3-liter big bag having to do with detergent. And we developed this overseas, but it was the important thing I want people to understand is even while this was created for the liquid Tide and Gain and that kind of stuff, that quickly went by the wayside because a lot of people in the detergent space went to those tiny little pods. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with the pods, but there's nothing wrong with this type of opportunity here. That doesn't mean if the opportunity dried up with the liquid detergent, that doesn't mean you can't find other opportunities. Let me explain. This is not an off the shelf opportunity here. Okay. What you've got here is you've got a handle, which is unique. What makes this more impressive is the integrated spout and measuring cup. This is just as important. Anybody in the space of protein powder or chemicals or fertilizer or ingredients, it can be for food. Anybody that needs a scoop or a measuring cup or some sort of something that can allow them to tell their customers how much of their product to use. Okay. Protein powder is a big deal. All the, for years, people in the protein powder space said, oh no, I have to use a rigid bucket or pail, which was just stupid. It just was laziness because I have to fit a scoop in my bag or in my packaging. Big deal. You can fit a scoop in a bag. But when you have a measuring cup and when you have something along the lines that allow the customer to be more involved with the packaging, this also allows you to not only position yourself direct with the customer, having packaging that is unique and different and not many people have, but it also allows your customer. I used an example a second ago with that integrated handle and the cat litter. Having these kind of features, we call these features. Let me see if I got to write this on here. These are features that are packaging related. Okay. So when you are able to offer features for your packaging that not anybody else or very few can do, this allows you not only to get in the door, you have something that nobody else has or very few people have. The other thing, it allows you to start talking with decision makers. Here's the thing. When you position yourself and walk in the door or set up an appointment with a company that could possibly use this, let's just say it is GNC and you're selling them or you want to sell them protein powder. Okay. Now you have packaging that they've never seen before. So you positioned yourself here as, hey, Mr. Connection at GNC, I've got packaging that'll totally separate you from the rest of the competition. I don't care whether it's Vitamin Shop USA or on Amazon. I've got something I'd love to show you. Hopefully before I go to Vitamin World with some of these other people, I figured I'd give you first crack, Mr. Potential Customer or Mrs. Potential Customer at GNC. Now, what I'm saying here is you want to be able to bring in a sample, you want to be able to show them, but the point is this is not a one size fits all. It's the features you want them to know. We can make or put these features on any type of packaging, and it's the features that you want to use to get in the door. So when somebody says, well, can't you just send me some samples or pictures in advance and I'll look it over? That's a blow off. Don't fall for that crap. That's old school. No, you're not doing that. Okay. So what I wanted you to see here, this is another example of specialized packaging. This is another things that people can go, God, I've never seen anything like that before. And that in and of itself is a way in the door. Okay. Follow? So I'm going to minimize this bad boy and I'm going to move into what's known as aseptic packaging. This is one style of aseptic packaging. We've all seen these things. These are like those, if you can see it, these are like those Tetra Packs that are out there. Well, these are Tetra Packs. And whether you like them or not, and Tetra Pak has made a fortune on trying to pretend these are recyclable when they're not. But what I wanted people to see is this is another opportunity. Aseptic is another opportunity to be able to walk in with packaging different than anybody else in the industry. Okay. Or have now let me phrase that again. You've got the Tetra Paks of the world that are in this space. However, remember what I've tried to say all along is you need to also understand who the competition is in this world. Tetra Pak does not care about the medium-sized client. They just don't. I'm here to tell you. They want to sell the big players in the juice space. They want to sell the Gatorades and and the biggest of the big guys that are out there. Okay, the opportunity for specialized packaging resellers is in that medium-sized company that's out there. Okay, there's a lot of medium-sized space or places that use this type of packaging. Could be juice, could be hydration, could be a protein mix, it could be milk, it could be creamer, it could be. What I'm getting at is sometimes you can use the access to factories that will run smaller volume. Okay. They will run smaller volume to allow the sales rep to get in the door and compete. And all too often, packaging resellers ignore this. They just look at the big picture and go, how am I going to sell that? Well, you sell it by being able to go after the company that wants to be the next Gatorade, who wants to be in that space. And again, all too often, sales reps don't look at the big picture here. They just look at this one picture and go, I don't know what to do with it, or I'm not in the juice space or whatever. And it's a failed strategy. Okay, so let me move this out of the way. Here is another opportunity that's out there, and there's several different. And this is similar to what I was showing you before on the pouch that had the measuring cup. Okay, this is for a liquid that is used for hunters to attract deer. Okay, that's some sort of a liquid juice. Now, here's the opportunity. And again, when it comes to specialized packaging, here is the opportunity in this particular case. All right. This particular opportunity was Redmond wanted to get out of using the heavy, rigid buckets and pails. Okay. These 2 gallon, 3 gallons, whatever that goes in here of liquid has historically, pairing is not successful. All right, let me get this. Has success over the years. They have historically sold in pails. Pails are very expensive. Pails, take up a shit ton of space. They are they're not very eco-friendly. So it wasn't difficult for us when Redmond came to us and said, can you help us with these buckets? Now, originally they said, can we help us with the buckets? But let me try to show you another, see if I can get a picture here to show you even more. Let me go to my Dropbox. And I think it's a good picture for you to see if I can find one. That shows a better, I'm doing this on the fly, so bear with me. Let's see if I can find this here. What I'm trying to show you is crap. I'll see if it loads up. But basically, what I wanted to show you was a picture of a pallet of 5-gallon buckets with a picture of a pallet of flat bags that are out there like this. Okay. And my point with this little attempt to show you was this is a no-brainer for any company that wants to save money. Okay, that's a good one. Also wants to have a sustainable example. Look at us. We're doing something better for the environment. We are using less energy, taking less space. When we ship the stuff, it uses less fuel. It uses less material, like about 85 to 90% less than rigid. Ships flat, stores flat, is recyclable. You see where I'm going? So there's all these things that are packaging related that you could use here to be able to get in the door and communicate with a customer. Another example, this is just another example of what specialized packaging is. There's tons. I'm only going to show you a few more, but you guys get the point of what's out here. And this in and of itself should give you. So again, here's the clue. If it is in this space of liquid salt water, I guess that's what this is think about anybody else in that space. If you're a sales rep that wants to make big money and you know you have an opportunity with packaging, then find anybody else out there that uses rigid buckets. I don't understand why this is so difficult, but if you can replace rigid buckets and pails, I don't care whether it's paint, chemicals, food service, can be food, could be syrup for colas, it could be any of that stuff, a concentrate, the orange juice, coffee creamer, whatever. What I'm getting at is there's a ton of opportunities to follow in that sustainable space that will allow you to kind of have something to get in the door to talk to a decision maker, not Betty the clerk buyer. Follow? So that's that. I hope you like this content. If you want more of it, I put together a Specialized Packaging Alliance, a group of packaging professionals that are in different facets of this industry. We have webinars, we have meetings. The idea is to share information about this great industry of packaging, whether that be from the sales side of things to the marketing, even to the end users. My point with this is I'd love to have you join us, the Specialized Packaging Alliance. Check out the link below to learn more. Thanks. Another thing I wanted you to see as I clear this out is, let me show you something that also is very unique in the child resistant space. This is a spout that goes into or onto a flexible pouch, like I showed you on that liquid on this trophy rock. Let me just show you here. On this, there's a spout here. This is an example of a spout. Now, what makes this unique is that it's child resistant. So anytime you're in the, let's see, there's certain medical products that are out there that need to be in child resistant packaging, liquids or dry product. And let's just talk about the liquid here. This is an enlarged picture of a tiny little spout that would go on a pouch. And what makes it unique is that obviously this is made as child resistant, which is very, very unique and very different. If you're in the vitamin space, if you're in the, a lot of children have to take certain types of medicine, syrup for sicknesses. When our kids were sick, they would, whether it's liquid Advil or whatever, but having packaging that is child resistant in the non-rigid. I mean, again, you can go by the rigid. What am I saying? These little rigid. Where am I at here? Let me see if I can pull this over. These are rigid little containers that are child resistant, or even something along the lines of pill bottles. Let me try this again. I'm getting used to this camera. But what I'm getting at is if you could do something in less material that is better for the environment, less expensive, a sustainable example, and child resistant, suddenly you can make some serious money by having something that nobody else has. You follow where I'm going? So, and then the final one I wanted you to see, and this is just a little oddball thing, and there's tons of examples here, but let me show you the final one. And we call this, and I know you've seen these, but a bag in a box. Now, I'm not in the space of trying to sell you a corrugated box, okay? That's not really what we're talking about with specialized packaging. But on the inside of this, let me get a pen. On the inside of this is a bladder. Let me go back to my pictures here and see if I can find an internal bladder to show you. And here it is. See if you can see this on the screen. I'm just going to enlarge this over. On the inside of this bag and box is what's known as an aseptic bag or a bladder bag, okay? So I didn't want you to necessarily see, although you saw the bag, you saw the box of a bag in a box. Here's the specialized item, just again, to wrap up this little session here on what specialized packaging could mean. This is a very unique type of packaging, not just because of the film structure, but also, as you can see, this spout. This is a trigger, or it's actually a little pour spout that basically there's a latch that you just kind of can release the liquid, and that really is what comes out of the box when you want to be able to kind of pour your iced tea in this case. So what makes this unique in this situation is that there's very few companies in the US that make this. Okay. Very few. And those that do are very proud of their price margins or our profit margins. And they are not cheap. And these things are expensive. And because they're specialized, a lot of companies are very leery with changing. And I like change for the simple fact that it's an opportunity to get in the door, but do it in a way that's in the background. For example, all too often people look at specialized packaging, and let's just say you've got the best supplier in the world, okay? And you want to sell this to this iced tea company. And this is where a lot of reps blow the opportunity, and it really drives me nuts because they go for the jugular. They want to hit the home run right out of the gate. Okay. They want to go in and sell Lipton iced tea, and they've got the bags now. They've got a supplier that is the best out there, best quality, best price, can deliver right away. They've got everything, but they're in a hurry to get the sale. Now, when I say that, they bypass the steps that need to be taken in advance to make sure that everything fits. You really and truly in specialized packaging get one opportunity to kind of close that door, okay? And get in the door, I should say. And you got to make sure that you don't screw up. And you one screw up and you're out. So I often like to go into these situations and talk to, let's just say we've already found the decision maker, we've already found the person that's involved with this, but not try to sell them on anything. Try to just get a trial run. Just try to get 100 of these things in front of them. Let's just say, all right, Sam, I would love it. And if you're interested, I'd love to do a free trial for you. If you want, do you want these on a roll? Do you want these connected? You want them in a box? Do you want them flat? Whatever that may be. Then you can walk in the door and be able to talk with them without feeling like there's all this pressure on you. Okay. And by being able to present yourself as a backup supplier, as somebody that's just trying to give them an alternative to whoever they're currently using, and give them an option that we know will be we know it'll be cost effective. We know they're going to love the quality, but instead of rushing to take an order, instead of rushing to kind of, I want to go slow. By going slow, you're actually going fast. Meaning, by going slow, by doing your test orders, you don't have the pressure to hurry up and make sure you got the order and make the delivery. And you go slow, so you handle all of the little bumps in the road ahead of time. Okay. There's no pressure to make a delivery date. There's no pressure to kind of or fit on equipment. You're doing this in the background very slowly, very slowly. But when you do finally hit this, you'll have already crossed all of those bridges. And when they do place that order, you'll be ready to roll. Okay. So what I'm getting at here is, because in this particular case, in a specialized packaging environment, the packaging here is very specialized. The opportunity is because there's very few companies in the US who make this stuff. And there's very few companies that will even allow anybody else to rep for them. They have their own reps, and they're selling these companies directly. But if you had a vetted supplier, let's just say in Taiwan or South Korea or Vietnam, that already sells Lipton or McCormick's Spices or Nestle's or McDonald's, again, overseas, okay, in Australia, in New Zealand, in the UK, wouldn't you feel pretty confident that your factory could also be able to provide these kind of pouches with the McDonald's and McCormick spices here in the States? You see where I'm going? If a lot of times people don't realize that these very factories that you now have access to, if you find a partner that can open the doors to these overseas factories, you now have a company that already makes and already provides this type of packaging to your very potential US customer. I can't tell you that enough. Oftentimes, the Sealed Airs, McCormick Spices, McDonald's, Starbucks, these factories are already working with their global counterpart. Okay. So why would you not want to attempt to go after the Starbucks and the McDonald's and the bigger players here in the States? Do you see that opportunity? It's massive. So that's why, sometimes it's the packaging, sometimes it's a supplier, sometimes it's a combination of both, where somebody can actually help educate your staff to be able to go down this road with specialized packaging and really be able to penetrate an account and get in front of a decision maker and get selling packaging, specialized packaging that brings much higher margins that last forever. This is not some, when you get vetted in with specialized packaging, this is the real key thing to remember. When you sell specialized packaging that you've gone through the testing and the testing and the testing, and it works, the chances of them leaving you, other than some major screw up, are very slim. So these kind of opportunities become a very, very nice annuity for your packaging sales rep to continue to grow and grow and grow. And I guarantee you, once they sell one of these to a company in the coffee concentrate business, for example, they're going to go after every other company out there, because I guarantee you there are other companies out there that want an alternative supplier for these kind of things because they make their life miserable. What happened during COVID is a lot of people in this space, in this aseptic bladder bag space, the domestic US factories knew that these companies had no other alternative. So they jacked up the price even more. Deliveries became very sketchy. They were taking deposits and orders that they knew they couldn't fulfill. But yet these companies were at the mercy of these manufacturers. That really ticks off a lot of companies. And when you tick them off, they have a very long memory. And they will remember that. And they will want, that's why we've had more than our fair share of the opportunities here. Because post-COVID, they've all went, I remember what you did to me during COVID. I remember how you almost shut us down. I remember how you stuck us with an incomplete shipment and then took you 8 months to finally finish it off. You see where I'm going here? So what I'm getting at is specialized packaging, and certain tentacles of specialized packaging could be that conduit to get you or get your reps in front of the right decision maker at the right companies. So I hope this is helpful. Again, let me know or let us know if we can help in any other way. And again, this was our Wednesday, or Wisdom Wednesday. Thanks, everybody.
Hi, everyone. It's David Marinac. I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you want to see more, here's another video that you can check out, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks.